Yo, what is up? Wargaming lent me this new tank for a few days, so I'm gonna make a reaction video out of this. This is the LT-432, the new Soviet premium light tank that's available right now in the Wargaming store. Now, this is the first time I'm coming to this map, playing this map in a light tank. I think this is called Studanki, if I'm not mistaken. And the guy I was platooning with, he told me to come to this spot, and I didn't get the right spot correctly, but well, my mistake basically gave me an opportunity to show you just how good this camo is. Now, I shouldn't have pushed out this far. I was gonna stay next to the bushes next to the track, but I've pushed out this far and it's too late for me to go back now. But this position is just going to show you how good the camo values are on this tank. Now, I do have 5 skill, 6 skill crews here, and I'm running vents, I'm running a rammer, and I'm running optics. I've decided not to go for any of the gun improving equipment. That's because this gun is absolutely amazing. So you don't really need vertical stabilizers, and you don't really need a gun laying drive. But if you boost your vents and you got good crew skills, your gun is going to handle really well to begin with. So you don't really need a vertical stabilizer or gun laying drive. But I do understand if some people prefer to do a lot of damage. I know there are some streamers out there that are really good players. They play with optics, rammer, and vertical stabilizers, and they forego the vents completely. But it's up to you. You've got to find your own way of playing this tank and figuring out what works for you. At the moment, I'm trying out the vents because I think it's going to boost all my skills a little bit better, because I have 5 and 6 skills crew. Look at how near I am, and I am not being spotted. Spoiler alert, I do get spotted eventually, and I get vaporized almost immediately. And that's one of the downsides of overextending my spotting capabilities, of course. These guys, the tier 9 T-54 lightweight is not spotting me, the FV4202 is not spotting me, nothing is spotting me. They're coming real close. Eventually the Centurion tier 10 CAX comes forward, and he's got better spotting values than I do, and he spots me out and I get vaporized immediately, but not before I get over 3,000 in spotting damage. Now, this tank is amazing at spotting, just like that ELC Meme 90, if you know what I mean. That tank is a real good spotter, and it's got real good camo. And now in the next video, I'm going to show you the combat capabilities of this tank. Now, on Redshire, if you're spawning on the south side, and if you are aggressive enough and you have a little bit of support, you can not only spot, but you can also be combat effective and do a little bit of damage and contribute to the victory of your team. But it is high risk. You do need to get into this location. There is a couple of hull downs and a couple of bushes. If you can get to them, you can knock down this tree right in front of me and get some bush cover, or subsequently you can also use this little hole here where you can hull down and evade shots coming from these guys that are crossing to the heavy line. Now, I'm platooned with a friend in the Progetto, so we planned this out and we decided to do this together. It's high risk, high reward, but if you manage to get into this position and you don't get killed within the first 20 seconds, you'll be able to do some damage here. Now, while those guys are busy trying to spot me and try to shoot me and RT is trying to shoot us, the guys on our team on the heavy side can push forward and deal with these heavy guys that I have spotted. Good job here. Look at that. This guy immediately gets vaporized because he gets tracked. It sucks to be that guy, but you can see how effective I can be and what a nuisance I am now. I'm not a great big damage dealer. This gun only has average damage of 180 per shot. The penetration on the APCR, which is standard shells are APCR, is only 176 penetration, but that's good enough if you're playing in all tier 8 matchmaking, which is happening a lot, by the way, on the Asian server because of they're testing out this new matchmaking stuff for Asia, which is a lot more 5-10 matchups, a lot more all tier 8 matchups, and so in this kind of matchups it's really good. On the Europe server and the NA server itself, they're doing the grand battles things. I guess they're testing out these two things on two different servers. They're doing the grand battles things on NA and EU, while they're doing this 5-10 matchup, greater 5-10 matchups for the tier 8s in the C server. I think the C server is going to do a lot better because there are a lot more people playing with this new matchmaking format, because it's working out a lot better for them. But I digress. Anyway, I'm back to this tank, 2512 DPM. It has 4.2 seconds reload time if you have the cruise skills and all that and whatnot, and if you're running improved equipment, it's going to be even greater. 1.8 seconds aim time. Now the only difference is if you are running vertical stabilizers, your dispersion values are going to be 0.7 instead of 0.09 when you're on the move and when you are traversing. But other than that, you don't get a great amount of benefits if you're running vertical stabilizers on this tank. If you have great crew skills like I do here, like a 5 skill, 6 skill crew, I think if you run vents, it's going to benefit more of those skills because you have so many skills. So my dispersion values on this tank is 0.34, which is really good considering I'm not running vertical stabilizers. If I was running vertical stabilizers, it's only 0.33, which is not a lot of difference, and 0.07 while moving and traversing. That's with stabilizers. Without stabilizers, I'm doing 0.09, which is hardly anything, which is why I recommend running the vents instead, vents and food, of course, instead of the vertical stabilizers. But that's just my opinion. You do it your way and you find out what works best for you in this tank. Now, this tank isn't exactly for everybody now. There's a lot of reviews that's been out on YouTube. A lot of the good players are saying this is the best tank that's since sliced bread. This is the best tank they have ever played with. This is the best tank in the game. This is the best light tank they have ever owned, and a lot of that jazz. And it is true. It is a very, very good tank in the hands of a very skilled light tank player. If you are really good in light tanks, if you enjoy the light tank gameplay, if you enjoy darting around, dodging shells, being sneaky, flexing all around the map, finding new locations, you know where all the hull downs are, you know where all the safe positions are, you know where to poke, you know when not to poke, you know how to make use of your equipment, you know how to make use of your what do you call it, your med kit and your repair kit, when to use it, when not to use it. If you're good in all that, this tank is really going to be working for you. Now there's a lot of players out there as well who just took the advice of all the good players and immediately went and got out and got themselves one of these LT-432s and found out that it totally sucked for them. And it sucked for them because they're not good LT players. You really need to be at least fairly above average LT player to truly benefit from the joy from playing this kind of light tank. If you're not, it's still gonna suck for you. So I'm gonna be truthful to you. If I played a lot of LTs in my past, and I haven't been playing LTs for the last 6 months, 7 months, and I've been struggling to get my groove back in this tank. I used to play a lot in the 1357 Grand Finals, but in this tank, I've actually, found it. It took me some time to get on my feet again and to be useful and to be contributing. It took me a few games to get back into the groove of LT gameplay. And even that, I'm not doing exactly super well, I would say, in this tank. But I am enjoying myself, and I can see myself playing a lot in this tank. And I play a lot of LT tanks But if you're not a player that plays a lot of LT tanks, you might find this game, this tank just above average, quite good, quite enjoyable, but you might not get the maximum joy out of it if you are not a pure LT player at heart. And just as well, that is why this tank is a lot cheaper than your regular LT tanks in your regular premium tanks in tier 8. You don't make a lot of credits in this tank, by the way. Maybe 50,000-60,000 on average if you have a premium account. Not like the other premium tanks in tier 8s like the Projector or the Scorpion that can get you a lot of credits. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll come up with more when I make more gameplays in this tank. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.